Egypt to visit his tomb for the commemoration, and I have it's a pleasure for me always to go back to Egypt, and always with the hope that one day we could take him back to our own country.
You would like to take him back to Tehran?
Yes.
Do you think that will ever happen?
I think it will. I have confidence in the future of Iran. Iran is important, not only for the Iranians today, but for the peace and stability in the Middle East and for the rest of the free world. And I have confidence in Iranian women, in the youth of Iran, and also they have shown lately after the so-called elections that they are rejecting the system.
There's a very strong reform movement in Iran. It doesn't necessarily mean they want to invite the Shah or representative of the Shah's son back. I mean, I see no evidence that there's a strong movement to restore a monarchy in Iran. Do you?
What is important for me and for my son is that he has fought for the last 24 years with many Iranians of different political opinion for freedom and democracy in Iran and the separation of religion from state, right, and with Iran keeping its territorial integrity. What he says is one day, if hopefully Iranians are free by a referendum, it's up to them to choose whether they want a constitutional monarchy or any sort of democratic government they choose. And he's ready to serve in any way the Iranian people want him to serve.
But here's the interesting thing. 70% of Iranians are under 30. They don't know the Shah, they know nothing about the Shah, and they know nothing about the Ayatollah Khomeini.
I wanted to tell you
their
that
history is not about either of them.
The history is about the future of Iran and the freedom in Iran, but at the same time, they know, they learn, they hear of what was Iran, the position of Iran and the Iranians in those days. And I wanted to tell you that I received many emails, I still receive, from Iranian young people, and especially my son. They were all born after the revolution, or they were very young, and they are very affectionate letters. And they sometimes ask me to call them, which I do.
You call them?
I call them.
You get a letter and they say, please call me, and you call them?
Yes, I call them, and sometimes I give them a code name because I don't want to create problem for them if I mention my name. But sometimes they do mention my title or my name. I say, please don't. They say, we don't care. And then, you know, they give me courage as I can give them courage. And they say, for instance, well, my parents were very much in favor of the Shah and the system, and since I was brainwashed in school, I thought that they are counter-revolutionary and not good Muslim. Now I realize. Or a young boy of 22, somewhere in Iran, I said, how the city looks? He said, gray since you have left. And so it shows that, you know, the seeds that you have planted with love, they don't disappear, in spite of all which has been said and they are saying today.
You know what the people who formed the Islamic Revolution in Iran and took power, they say that you and the Shah took billions of dollars out of the country.
Well, I wanted you to know, and everybody else, that the Shah was an honest man. He cared only for his country and his people, and my conscience is clear. And I'm really...
He didn't take billions of dollars out, you're saying? He didn't have access to billions of dollars that
even if he
belonged
had,
to the people of Iran.
Even if he had, he was not there for the interest, material interest. He didn't have interest in material thing. And then it's a pity in a way to repeat the allegation of a terrorist, repressive regime, and today think about their corruption and what's happening in Iran today.
What is it that concerns you most about what is happening in Iran today?
It's the condition of women. So many young girls, unfortunately, because of poverty, they have to go to prostitution. So many young people addicted, and also so many young children begging in the streets, which never happened in Iran. And also these people are really selling the country, and also the respect of the Iranians outside of Iran, and also the development, the progress, the possibilities. Iran is a rich country, and it has
rich in culture, rich in human resources, and rich in natural resources.
Natural resources, but it has to be used well, and the job should be given to those who know how to.
Would you'd be happy to see a reform in Iran as advocated by the so-called reformist movement to create a secular democracy?
The Iranian people, the majority of them are beyond reformers. They had so many years, these so-called reformers or so-called moderates, I think it was mostly for the outside world to just keep on continuing the system. Iranian people don't want reform anymore. They want a change.
Change of what?
Change of the regime in Iran. They want freedom, democracy, and a secular democracy.
How did you survive all this yourself? I mean, your daughter, your husband, from where you were to have to go through what you went through. I mean, what is it about you?
I always say that life is a struggle for everybody relative to its own position. We might lose our position, our belongings, our house, our country, our loved ones, but we shouldn't lose our dignity, we shouldn't lose ourselves. And I have used all the means that could keep me going on, and especially my fight against the negative things of life and the evil, which I consider this regime. I want to survive this regime, and also in my own life. And
you live for one thing, to see the regime overthrown?
I just want, I say, I always hope that light would overcome the darkness. And I used all the things that life gave me, which I'm grateful for, whether the affection and friendship of so many people I have met around my trips around the world, the letters they wrote to me. I did a lot of sport because I believe in that. It helped me. I read all the books about how to feel better. I listened to all the cassettes. Music helped me. Literature helped me. I use everything. The sky, the sunshine, the birds, the flowers, and I say thank you, and it gives me energy.
Yeah.
And I will go on, I hope.
What do you hope people will come away with having read this book with? What would you like for them to walk away from, having met and experienced your book?
Well, frankly, I will leave it up to the readers to decide what they get out of my book. I have written my life the way I have lived it in a period of Iran's life. And
what regrets did the Shah have?
He had said also in his books that with hindsight, maybe the political participation that he wanted to bring about after Iran makes some progress on development, and also to solve the problem of illiteracy and slowly open up to more political participation. Maybe now with hindsight, if it had been done earlier in the early 70s, maybe this would not happen, because frankly the problems were not at a level that could not be solved. And with discussions, of course, what we see happening under the Islamic Republic, there was no way we could go the same way together. But then again, in our countries, we cannot become democracies overnight. It took decades for other countries to become real democracies.
Was it hard to write the book? Because it brought back memories, you had to go through things that were painful.
It wasn't easy, although I considered it my duty to do that. But of course the beginning was agreeable, because it was going back revolution and then the exile.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. See you next time.